help us understand the implications of the closure of the ICI. We're joined by Dr. Froilan Calilong, faculty member of the USC Department of Political Science. Good morning. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Morning, Jairo. Good morning, Angela, and good morning to all our viewers. Thank you for having me again.
Okay, this latest news na magsasara ang ICI doesn't really come to a shock. We kind of expected this, but ano ba magiging implications nito in terms of how the Marcos administration in general is handling this whole flood control mess?
Well, two things, no, Jago. I think one thing we need to understand here is has it really achieved its purpose from the time that it was conceptualized to the time that it actually operationalized and nagawa ba niya talaga yung kanyang mga
That's a question.
sabihin na nating layunin. This I believe is very, very important. Secondly, I think what the president should actually do is not just to shut down the ICI, but to actually formally recommend to the Congress and to make it also a priority bill measure on the part of this administration na magkaroon talaga tayo ng isang batas, no, na talagang mangangalaga dito sa mga katiwalian, particularly those that are referring to infrastructures like what we have seen in the flood control, yung mga farm to market roads, and we really need to actually have a legislative measure on that. Kasi itong ICI, let's face it, no, talagang nagkaroon sila ng problema dahil nga unang-una it was haphazardly created. The structure, the staffing, I think is problematic. The funding also is problematic. Kaya hindi talaga natin masisisi kung hindi talaga to nakapag-deliver, no? Kasi nga biglaan din yung pagka-create sa kanya, no? And I think some people are actually saying that this was more of an appeasement mechanism, no,
Yun.
para talaga
That's why I asked.
appease yung
Yeah.
galit ng taong bayan, ano. Pero I think what we need to understand here also is that the ICI, yun nga, yung kanilang preliminary investigations, kailangan hindi yun masayang. Kahit hindi mawala, maibigay talaga natin sa iba't ibang ahensya ng pamahalaan na magko-conduct din naman ng kanilang investigations.
Pero, wait,
go ahead.
tugtog lang. But I guess the question kasi that I really wanted to ask was, does it then reflect on the Marcos administration that hindi sila sincere from the start and that they created this just simply to, you said it, the exact words, to appease the people? Because there were a lot of questions from the start and pinanindigan ng administration ni PBBM, no, we're sincere. And all of a sudden, tama nga sinasabi ng tao, nagmadali ka lang just to appease the people.
Yeah. Actually, that's exactly the point, Trego, no, na sana talagang mas nailatag yung pinaka-foundation, mas nabigyan siya ng mas malawak na kapangyarihan, mas nakapili siguro tayo ng mas maayos na staffing pattern para talaga nakagawa tayo ng mas konkretong mga findings, no. And I really believe that since the time that the ICI was created and when Mayor Benji Magalong at nung isa-isa na sila naglalagasan at nawala, that's the time that I felt that there is some kind of an internal problem dito sa ICI. And maybe this men that were chosen by the president really felt na meron talagang mga hindi natumbok. So may mga investigation na sana nailatag ng mas maganda at mas maayos, pero medyo maaring may pinoprotektahan, may paglilihis na nangyari, merong hindi sila gustong tapakan. And I think this really complicated the matter because the very purpose why we created the ICI is for us to have a fact-finding mechanism to really, to really find out kung sino ba talaga at ano-ano yung punot dulo nitong napakalaking issue na to sa flood control. Pero hindi na-address Hindi na-address, walang masyadong konkretong mga kinahinatnan. At the same time, kung titignan natin yung mga sinasabi nilang mga pagdinig na dapat ay gagawin in full public view, parang isang beses lang yata sila nakapag-live stream and after that wala na. So these things I think could have been better addressed if we really have proper mechanisms dito sa inilatag na to ng ICI.
Well, I agree with you that there are multiple factors that, kumbaga, doomed itong creation ng ICI nito. Not enough funding, di ba? Not enough authority, and more importantly, not enough political will. But Can you name at least one or two kumbaga na ginawa ng ICI na sa tingin mo tama naman that they are going in the right direction? Meron ba?
Ah, very difficult question. Angela, um, actually, yung mga siguro yung mga field investigations, I think that's one. I think they did several ocular investigations, there's ocular inspections. They really went down the ground. I think that's really important for us to really understand. Ano ba rito yung ghost project, alin ba rito yung mga substandard projects. But I think that's just one part kasi of the equation. Ano? What is more important here is how they are going to solidify their commitment towards pursuing not just this initial findings, kung parang tignan natin ano ba talaga yung mas malalim na kapupuntahan nito, sino-sino ba talaga yung mga tao na kailangan nating i-implicate dito, and dapat nagkaroon siya ng maayos na recommendatory mechanism, no, sa presidente, sa kahit siguro sa ibang ahensya ng pamahalaan like the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, no, para sana naipatawag man lang itong mga tao na to na involved. Because let's face it, no, the idea or the impression that is now being given to the public is that hindi talaga sincero yung gobyerno dito, no, at kapag wala yung sincerity, wala yung integrity, nandoon yung agam-agam na may pinagtatakpan, may paglilihis na nangyayari, meron tayong ayaw tamaan. And I think this is something that the ICI, kaya nga siya independent, no? If it was created to be really independent, then it could have been done with, or it could have been given greater autonomy, no? Na wala talagang na masasabi nating hindi na ibigay sa kanya, no? Kaya nga dito makikita natin marami talaga naging kahinaan, and kung magtatapos man siya ngayon, siguro masasabi nating walang masyadong tangible naman na outcome or walang tangible result, no?
Mhm. Well, sabi naman nila, to give credit, the ICI was able to produce results in short time when it was active. They conducted 32 hearings involving 36 witnesses, compiled more than 1,100 pages of documents, and issued 9 referrals recommending charges against 65 individuals. But then again, at the end of the day, nandun tayo sa pangako kasi before Christmas na merong big fish. Pero it's
Right.
already matatapos na yung first quarter of the year 2026. Meron bang big fish?
Yeah. Yeah, there's absolutely none, ano, and I think mangyayari nito is magsusona na naman tayo, no, several months from now. Maalala natin, it was in SONA 2024 when the
Right.
president said that we have flood control already in place.
Mm-mm.
It was SONA 2025 when he said that there was this big mess surrounding the flood control, and the scandal came out. And then right now we'll be having another SONA, and by then monsoon season na naman, ano? Balik na naman tayo doon sa ganong problema, sa ganong issue, and yet we're not seeing any light at the end of the tunnel. So I think yun nga, kaya nga kung makikita natin, Diego, Angela, kapag may mga whistleblowers tayo patungkol dito sa flood control or any other corruption related incident, parang nawawala na ng nawawala na ng relevance, lalong-lalo na sa taong bayan. Yes, initially may shock factor, no? Pero afterwards it will just die out in thin air, primarily because alam natin na itong mga investigations na to, investigation left and right, wala naman talagang konkretong kinakahinatnan. And I think this is where the ICI really failed, no? Because it doesn't have any kind of sabihin na nating authority na talagang seryoso at na medyo may pagka-decisive talaga. Kaya yun, medyo nakulangan talaga tayo doon sa naging
Yeah.
resulta niya.
Doc, do you believe, kasi ang dami nagsasabi, no, na when this scandal broke out, yung sa flood control mess, people were saying it was more of a, again, aside from it being a battle against corruption, parang nagiging battle of PBBM versus the Dutertes. If you were on the Duterte side, whatever came out sa PBBM admin regarding the flood control mess, hindi credible. Ang nangyari pa nga ay nagturuan or naglabanan ng Congress and Senate. Kumbaga, iba ang version ng Senate, iba ang version ng Congress. Yung mga congressmen are saying, bakit kami lang, hindi senador? Ang senador, bakit kami lang, hindi yung congressman? I think this muddled up the whole process.
Yeah, that's very true. I totally agree with that. And yun nga, because from the very get-go, no, hindi talaga naging malinaw kung ano ba talaga yung motibo. Hindi talaga naging maliwanag kung paano ilalatag yung mga mechanisms para talaga hanapin yung katotohanan. Kaya along the way, nagsanga-sanga talaga siya, no, and doon tayo nagkaroon ng problema. And ako, I really believe, and I've said this in many different interviews, that for as long as meron talaga tayong mga tao na pinoproteksyonan at meron talaga tayong mga tao na gustong hindi madrag dito sa issue na to, meron talagang paglilihis na mangyayari. At kahit gumawa man tayo ng napakaraming ICI, for as long as we really do not want kumbaga hindi natin kayang tumbukin yung katotohanan at yung mga tao na to na ayaw nating madamay dito sa napakalaking issue na to, talagang hindi siya magiging sapat.
But
So,
who,
bottom line, it's really about political will. It's all about the decisiveness, and it's not just about coming up with piecemeal measures like this just to appease the public, just to tell the people that we're doing something about it until such time that another issue will come in, until the next time that this will die out again. And after that, wala talagang konkretong nangyayari. So doon tayo nagkakaroon talaga ng problema.
right, but who do you think were protected in this investigation?
Well, primarily, no, binanggit na nga natin yung mga tao na ayaw banggitin ng nakararami, no. Martin Romualdez was already mentioned, even the president was actually mentioned by several other whistleblowers and witnesses. Pero hindi nila nadala doon yung investigation, na ayaw nilang dalhin doon yung investigation. And that really created the presumption and the impression that these people are coddling people, no. And that becomes the issue at hand kung bakit talaga yung findings niya mismo medyo questionable, 'di ba? Kasi nga kung talagang ang layunin natin dito mahanap talaga yung katotohanan, we should not be settling for this small fries, no. We should not be settling for this itong mga dilis at saka mga sapsap, ika nga, no. Kailangan hanapin natin talaga yung mga malalaking isda because sila yung utak nito, no. And for as long as hindi natin yun magagawa, hindi natin talaga malalaman kung anong katotohanan dahil ayaw ipaalam sa publiko at ayaw nilang malaman kung sino ba talaga yung may kagagawa nito, no. Even if the public already have may mga apprehensions na tayo, no, may mga kahit paano may mga naiisip na tayo na sila ang kailangan lang ng gawin ng ICI at ng ibang investigating bodies is to prove those presuppositions, no, na meron talaga silang involvement. Pero yun na hindi nila nagagawa.
So what should we do then? Should we go to Congress and form a constitutional body to fight corruption, or do we allocate the funds that could be used sa new constitutional body to strengthen a unit within the ombudsman that will focus on infrastructure projects?
That is really quite I think a good measure, I would say, Sir Diego. But the problem kasi right now, especially with the administration, and I will not mince words with this, no, na kaya hindi talaga tayo talaga makausad-usad primarily is because maraming tao mismo na nasa gobyerno, sila mismo ay maaring nakinabang. Sila mismo ay merong mga involvement dito, and they are the ones who possess the power to create, to legislate. They are the ones who are vested with the power and the authority to actualize and to operationalize mechanisms para hanapin talaga yung perpetrators. But how will they be moved towards this realization, and how will they be functioning towards the fulfillment of this kung sila mismo involved nga rito, no? So kumbaga, we could always put measures, we could always put up systems in place, but at the end of the day, it's really the willpower and the political sabihin na natin yung kakayahan talaga natin na mag-enforce nung talagang nararapat at naaayon. Kung wala yon, baliwala itong mga gagawin natin. But those are very good first steps, no? Especially ako personally, I really would want to have a fully legislated, properly functioning infrastructure commission that will serve really as not just a watchdog, no? Hindi lang recommendatory, pero maganda kung meron silang quasi-judicial powers right away para talaga mas magkaroon ng takot yung mga contractors and other unscrupulous officials that will be involved in transactions like this.
That's true. Kasi ang nangyari sa ICI, may subpoena power sila pero walang contempt. So, kahit
Wala,
ipasumpi
wala.
na mo,
Yeah,
hindi dumating, wala silang magagawa.
wala silang magagawa.
Yes,
Yeah,
pero dun
exactly,
sa
exactly.
question po ni Diego kanina, meron naman kasing pinupush ngayon na both lower and upper houses ng batas that
Right.
will give ICI power. Sa Senate, they call it Independent People's Commission. Sa
Mhm.
Congress, Independent Commission Against Infrastructure Corruption. So let's see kung paano uusad yung batas na yan. 'Di ba? But for the
Right.
meantime, do you think that etong creation ng ICI na magsasara na by March 31 will also add doon sa trust rating ng PBBM administration?
Well,
Mag-add siya sa
definitely.
pagbagsak ng trust rating.
Yeah, definitely it will have an impact, especially because number one, ang pinanghawakan kasi rito ng taong bayan ay yung pinangako ng ating Pangulo, no, na meron at meron talaga tayong mapapanagot nung Pasko. Inantay natin yun, ano?
Mm.
Mas inantay pa nga yata natin yung kaysa sa mga regalo na gusto nating matanggap during that time. Pero hindi nangyari. And the ICI is an instrumental factor to that. So the failure to prosecute and to imprison people that are in the line of this flood control scandal directly resonates to the failure also of the ICI to perform their function. And again, overall, syempre merong implication ito doon sa trust and satisfaction ng taong bayan dito sa Pangulo na parang lalabas nga na ginawa lang naman yan dahil nga para lang masabi na may ginagawa, para masabi na para hindi mag-revolution yung taong bayan, hindi
Mm.
mag-escalate yung galit natin. And then after what, nung na-appease na, wala na. And then tignan natin ngayon yung timing, no, nung kung kailan siya mawawala, no, March 31, and of course right now meron tayong malaking issue na kinakaharap, the oil price crisis, the problem in the Middle East. I think this could be an opportune time. Maring iniisip ng Pangulo, no, ng ating pamahalaan na pwede na nating i-divert yung attention kasi
Attention.
masyado ng marami ng issue na kinakaharap. Pwede na nating tapusin tong ICI kasi baka lalo pang ano, no, lalo pang ma-complicate. So I think these are some of the considerations, but at the end of the day, I think really the ICI failed to really failed to deliver.
Mm.
That's my verdict with the ICI.
Oo, kumbaga pero tingnan natin kasi malapit na rin naman ang saglit lang naman ang tag-init, mamaya tag-ulan na naman. So, ma-empower na naman yung mga
Exactly.
tao magalit dahil makikita na naman nila yung baha all over the Philippines. But, Professor,
Yeah.
can you also see this creation of ICI and then of course yung the end of this commission at saka of course yung pag-push ng ombudsman to file cases against people who are involved in this mess ay nagpapakita din ng kumbaga crisis sa justice legal system natin na talagang mabagal at hindi talaga nararapat yung nangyayari ngayon.
Yeah, actually, I totally agree with that, Angela. No, and really, this is what I'm seeing. That's why even the public perception regarding the judicial process, especially with high stakes criminality like this, plunder and graft and corruption, talagang mababa yung kumpiyansa ng ating mga kababayan na makapagpanagot tayo, lalo na ng mga malalaking isda. Because alam natin that in a country like the Philippines na mas pinababagal ang pag-usad ng hustisya, lalong-lalo na kung malalaking tao yung involved, no? Dahil nandito pumapasok yung pera, yung impluwensya, yung kanilang network, yung kanilang mga tao na pupwedeng maging padrino and all. So it really this particular issue of the flood control is a systemic manifestation of how our justice system actually is not only slow but it's actually problematic
Mm.
many times. And I think what complicates the matter right now is the fact na yun nga, no, yung mga tao na involved dapat dun sa paglalabas ng hustisya maaring kuminsan nahihirapan din sila na gawin ito, no, dahil nga may mga tao talaga na talagang pumipigil at humaharang at maaaring ito yung nagpapabagal talaga dun sa dispensation ng justice.
Oo, tsaka anong nangyayari at the end of the day, kung naiiba yung pag naiba na yung pangulo, naiiba na rin kung sino yung mga
Right.
nakukulong. Napapalaya yung mga nakulong at yung mga hindi nakulong
Mm.
ipapakulong naman because hindi kaalyado. Ganun
Yeah.
nangyayari. It's a cycle here in the Philippines.
Yeah, it's really a cycle. Ano, until the next corruption scandal comes.
Yeah.
Ganun lang 'yan eh. It's always like that. Kaya talagang mahirap for as long as the processes and the people, the personalities are, deeply involved as well dito sa mga
Right.
issue na kagaya nito.
Alright, maraming salamat as always sa iyong oras, Dr. Froilan Calilong, Faculty Member of the UST Department of Political Science.